Right, hello once again YouTube. Welcome back to more From the Depths, where today we're hopefully finally going to be finishing this fella. I'd really like to actually get it, even if it's not 100% perfect, I'd really like to get this thing complete and into the campaign. So what we're going to do today is we're going to fix the last of its major problems, which is the generators. There are definitely problems with. So, we're basically going to go into the generator room, and the first thing I'm going to try is see if I can stack more turbines on top of the current ones. If there's space for that. If not, we'll have to try something else. Someone suggested having a second generator and smaller turbines. Don't know how well that works, but it's an option, certainly. We could even, because it's 3 high, potentially stack a second set of turbines on top that are the smaller variety. Or only the 3x1, whatever they're called. Or 3x3s. Yeah, medium turbines. How much steam are we putting out at the moment? It can, okay, so it can manage 30,000 steam a second. Oh yeah, looks like it's not using its limit. So yes, that's another thing we'll try. Let's try. No, what about on the sides, won't it? Because there's an even number of them. Okay, we'll start from there because sort of tight in space. Let's try that. And then split the pipes a little bit and we'll try just adding that secondary set of generators. Let's be what? One more up? Is that right? Yeah, one more up. The music's very loud. Alright, at least at my end. Right, so I want that. I want 2 meters. Thank you once more for all the advice that everyone's been giving me. I know I haven't followed all of it, but at the end of the day, it is also my ship as well as partly all you guys, because you've helped so much of it. So there will be the occasional bit where I'm just like, I want to do this. And let us, we shall live with the consequences, but yeah, either because I didn't want to have to reassemble a huge part of the ship, or because I felt it was okay without it. I've sort of stuck to my guns on some things, I know. But I think we've ended up with something quite fearsome. I did a test run after yesterday's episode where I tried having it run against an Excalibur, which was the one I used to try and build to fight, and it practically did it no damage. And it's so scary, because I'm just like, that says so much for the Megalodon that it could beat something like that almost unharmed, but it struggles so much against like the Megalodon because it's just so dangerous kind of thing as far as these ships go. Let's see if we still get that same power out of each. I think these were doing about 25,000. The smaller generators. Oh, we're actually using up enough steam that they don't cap out now. Battery energy. So they're producing about 4,000 each. And there are 6 of them. So that would be, what? 24,000 from those guys. And these are still producing almost 25,000 each. I'm pretty sure, even with a slight loss from these generators, that we are up on power generation. So we will do what will hopefully be the final live test against the Megalodon. See how it goes. And then we'll potentially load it into the campaign and see how we do. Yeah, power generation is not... is it still not quite keeping up? Oh, that was a big explosion. What happened there? Did we get a good hit on something? Or did we get hit bad? Bit hard to say. Definitely slow down for a moment. We're taking missile hits. I hope the Sea Whiz isn't trying to target undersea targets. I don't know if there's any way to not do that. Good deck hit. I lost the rear Sea Whiz node, but still got the flat guns. Side armor has soaked some shots. That's good, that's what it's there for. Ah, yeah, we lost. That might have been what the lag was. We lost a turret. How are we doing now? We are doing damage faster than we're taking it, though, at the moment. You had plenty being at the moment, but... Not sure what was going on with whatever that was, but... Oh, they've closed the point blank. Are they supposed to do that? Ours isn't. Is Megalodon going to try and ram us? Has it got desperate? Yeah, go on, smack him. Go for it. Eh. Strip that side armor. We'll do it with our nose. If we have to. That's not too bad a strategy, to be fair. The nose at our ship doesn't have anything important in it. Whereas the side armor on the Megalodon is important, and I think its engine... Yeah, it's just about to lose an engine, which will slow it down a bit. It's good because our ship will turn to face the other side to it. We might actually potentially win this test, you know, and I know it's got a bit unconventionally, but... I still don't get why the torpedoes sometimes feel the urge to leap out of the water, but I do appreciate it. I wouldn't say it's been a flawless fight on either side, but... The thing that gets me is I don't know if it's like a case of I've designed maybe one of the ship's components badly and that's what's causing it the weakness, or if it's just because this thing is just so strong that it just is never going to be an easy fight regardless. Because I really don't know. But I would say at the moment we are out damaging it, just. Only by about 1% or so, but... The only thing is, some of our systems are getting knocked offline and their guns are just staying up. Then again, I've never seen the main turrets knocked out on this thing. Mind you, they might be, considering the gash the hull's taken. Shields are helping, though. See the odd shot deflecting off. I would say it is firing back slower now. Oh, we just lose a turret there? I think we just lost a turret there. That consistent fire at the hole in the hull. That might be another turret going. That's not so great. How are we doing? Torpedo hits. How we're looking. They're sinking a bit. No, we didn't lose 2 turrets. We only lost 1. Secondary guns are still up. Or the other primary gun is still up. The one at the very front I thought we might have lost. Oh, no, it's starting to out-damage us. Do we need something else? We need some, like, killer edge over this thing? Because they are roughly equivalent. I do mean roughly, very much so, but... It does seem to be really difficult to get that, like I say, that killer blow off on this thing. I know people said about the armour, and I definitely agree with them on that. It's incredibly heavy. I suppose cram rounds would be the ideal, but we're probably never going to get them through the LAM screen unless they're solid, and we definitely don't have space to just be throwing cram guns on at this point. Yeah, I'd say at the moment, it's not like we're not going to get a really good try. But we still just seem to be slightly worse. Then again, that thing's LAMS is now failing as well. Despite the damage taken, we're still fighting. Oh, we're sinking. Which guns are still active? Very front gun and the rear guns. The damage is taken, but it's still fighting. Torpedo launchers seem to be remarkably resilient to damage. No, I take it back. I think they just took a massive hit there. Or are we dying? No, I think it's things getting knocked off. Yeah, we're definitely coming apart faster. what does it take to kill this thing? The torpedo jumping up and hitting the turret in the back is quite funny. We're practically submerged already, but I think the lift propellers are keeping us from dying. We could potentially have some more of those, maybe. I reckon we're almost on our side and we're still fighting. I don't know what there is we could do at this stage of construction to refine it. Obviously, if we do another battleship of this scale, we'll have a bit more of an idea of what we're doing and we can make it stronger, but I don't want to start again when we've not even used this one. But then again, it's starting to outpace again in terms of damage. And the Megalodon is not shooting back much. Could it be we actually have done more damage than I realised at this stage? We're not even above the water anymore, but we're still out fighting it. Is it going to count as a sunk, or do we still count as functional? It could be funny if we win this fight from the seabed. Not, I suppose, technically that there's that much stopping us from converting this thing into a submarine at the last minute. It wasn't really the intended plan, but... the rear definitely seems to be a weak side of this thing. We could definitely do a bit of manual commanding. Keep us towards the rear of that thing, maybe? How we operate it could be a saver. Yeah, tell you what. We might be at the bottom of the sea practically, but this thing's not firing. We're still shooting at it. And torpedoes. Not sure where those torpedoes are going, but they're still there. Whether I consider that good and we bring an escort so that it's got something else to bother it. Because it would certainly be worth having some escorts with our biggest ship. We don't want to send it in on its own. So it could be that if we send it with like a Skyray or something. Some Skyrays, or maybe it's just some Troll 2s to spam the air full of missiles or something, maybe. Like cheap ships like that, potentially. Whether they would help it, because they'd give it a bit more demolition power, but... again, it's so hard to tell, because the firepower on this ship is really good, because I've tested it against other Steel Strider ships, and it's scary how quickly it pulls them apart. But this thing is... the Megalodon itself is just so tough. We're upside down now, so we're actually pushing into the seabed. That's not good. If we self-right, do we actually come off the seabed? I know it's interrupting the test a little bit, but... whoop. But either way, we'll still be using this battleship, and we will probably take another crack at doing a heavy battleship in a future series. I'm not so... the heat warheads are kind of working. I wonder if it would be worth changing the heat warhead to conventional high explosive, given they're doing a reasonably good job of hitting target, and see if that improves them. These are the thing is, these ones are punching through, but they don't seem to be doing much real damage to what's inside it. Or even fragmentation heads, I suppose. We could do that, right? Yeah, we could do we could try fragmentation torpedoes. I know they don't get the bonuses of high explosive, but I might do that quickly. But firstly, I want to see if we do ultimately win this battle. I think we're going to at this rate, you know. But again, it was a bit of a jank test. What with us sinking and it crashing into us early on. Although we did seem to come out of that better. Aside from the fact we stripped our armour and exposed the front guns to taking damage, so... I think it's fair to say we would win that one. Janky as it's been. So let's try changing those warheads quickly and see... we'll try just regular high explosive first, because they should get the explosive damage bonus in water, being torpedoes. I believe, if that's still a thing. Oh, there's an explosive head? I guess we just do explosive warhead right up to the top then. which will make the explosive shows it will make the explosion even more powerful. Won't save it yet, but we'll see how it does. They might be more vulnerable to exploding. They might be stronger. We could potentially also mix the two and have high explosive and frag. Because without the shaped charge heads, they won't go off like shaped charges. We had full broadside on it. That's another thing we could do. We could start our ship in full broadside so that we get full damage right away. We are losing some torpedoes, but I think we'll get some hits. We usually do. I guess it's Seawiz. Oh, I suppose it's Seawiz is still at full strength. So they're knocking off about the same amount of ship with each hit. Maybe a little bit more reliable? Well, we were out damaging it, now we're not. There's probably going to be a fair element of luck in it. The second volley there's. Yeah, that is stripping armor. To some extent, definitely. Okay, let's destroy all. The other thing let's try, because I don't think they were tremendously more or less powerful than the other type. The other thing we could try is frag warheads. On both, and we'll do triple, and we'll set the angle to well, let's see how much damage they do. We'll set the angle, right, so if we do frag warhead, or much as I hate to do it, we could go EMP and see how that works. Much as I hate EMP as a weapon type, we could try it. Fragmentation at the moment. Frag angle 60. Fragment AP 4, really? 34. Oh, massive damage, though. Right. I'd be tempted, I think, to narrow those in quite fiercely. 15 degrees. Given they don't lose much damage, but that will stack a lot into one spot. So let's try that. So frag at 15 degrees. Don't know whether they're more or less durable than explosive, but I imagine they'd be a little bit more durable. Right. And Megalodon in front, so we can test the torpedoes a bit more easily. Yeah, I suppose it depends on whether we think the guns or the torpedoes are going to be the bigger threat as to what angle we want to start at, but... Let's see what we get. Right, any significant looking damage from those hits? Not hugely so. That's not a bad hit. Oh, collisions definitely seem like they could be a risk. Okay, let's... That is one other thing we can prepare for. Over them. If we actually prepare a little bit for collision, we could potentially get some value out of that. So... I think we'll leave it with the heat rounds. We'll try and leave the ship as is, and we'll try it in this configuration. We'll see how it goes. In a proper fight. I don't think the power generation issue has been too bad once it's actually in a fight. It's seem to be able to keep up for quite a while, but we will want to send this thing of escorts. I don't think at the moment with this build we're going to manage something quite as powerful as that, and that might partly be the way I designed it. It might be because I'm new to it. I haven't designed it with even thicker armor right from the start, but we'll try as is. We'll deploy it because I want to get back to the actual game. And we'll just give it a go. Some rams there. We'll have some rams in some spots at the sides. Maybe at the top. Yeah, if we do this top layer as rams. That should should give it a little bit of capability to slice into targets it hits rather than just taking damage. Again, it seems like collisions can be an issue potentially. They're not tremendously expensive. Our budget is about right. It does cost about the same as a Megalodon, which is roughly what we're aiming for. We put rams there and also on the sides of these panels. Hey, oh yeah, go there as well. We'll most likely be colliding forwards. We could also, what I think we'll do is we'll also put some rubber beams on the side, so not so much for ramming, but more for hopefully taking a hit and shrugging it off. The wooden armor, unsurprisingly, does not really withstand any fire at all. Neither does that side plate against the Megalodon, but it did still buy us a bit of time against its heavier guns. It looked like the side panels are reasonably resistant to fire, so I have a feeling it might indeed be that we probably needed just like 4 meters beam at least around the whole ship. Oh, hang on, am I doing the wrong gap? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think I'm doing it wrong here, aren't I? 3, 3, 4, yeah. Should be there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a... I should probably do one and copy paste it, shouldn't I? Bit of a rubber bumper here to try and absorb impacts if we do have a side collision. We won't take damage, they will. Right, was it prefab? Prefab. It needs to be too long, but it will need to be about 13 high? No, 11. I think as long as we hold shift it will replace it. No, that's fine. We can replace the bond bit ourselves. Still a bit quicker anyway. Yeah, we're about right cost-wise, and I think in terms of fighting other things, again, in testing, it's been very good. So I think we've ended up with a good ship here. It's just not quite as good as that one, but for how much experience shipbuilding whoever it was that was designing the Steel Striders must have had when they got to that point, I'd say we've done reasonably well, all things considered. We'll get to that point. We're just not there yet. I think the weapon systems will be really key for whatever we do for our next equivalent. I think we need a really knockout weapon, a really powerful main gun of some sort that can very quickly immobilize whatever it is we're fighting. I think that is our fleet has reasonably good staying power, I think, so far, but I think our big weakness a lot of the time is not quite high enough firepower. Which says a lot for how much work we've done into making this thing have high firepower, but that also says a lot about our foes' defenses. So, let's also have, slightly strange as it is, let's also have a little bit of rubber. I'll do want some rams, I think. No, we should be okay. Okay. Oh, actually, no, I know what we could do, because we did have a little bit of trouble with sinking. We're going to put a little bit of our extra truss armor just on over the propellers on all segments of the ship, because I did notice we lost them and started to, obviously, sink a bit, so we'll just make sure we've actually got enough, a little bit of protection over those to make them a bit harder to knock out. Pretty sure they actually let the water through and don't block propellers, but just in case. Right. That's not bits, that's fine. We'll just have that bit empty, and then we'll have a little bit of metal. I also saw, I saw recently a little video on Vex's armor, because I've been doing stuff, I've been getting recommended other bits, and I believe it was mentioned that that applique panel's actually a very high armor, and if that's still true and that hasn't been updated out yet, it's not a huge panel, but that should protect them a little bit. I might just also add a little bit of extra underneath it just to make it a bit more protective. If that's still true, I might even coat them with a bit of that. Yeah, armor 50. Yeah, for how cheap they are, they actually have very high armor, so while they'll probably only withstand one hit, they could withstand quite a big one in theory, so yeah, we'll just give them a little bit of an extra cap of the cheap stuff. Cheap but tough stuff, apparently. do that for the sake of some hydrodynamics. At least something that looks like them. Okay, and we'll do the same roughly at the front. We'll give that a bit of extra protection. Because these ones did get dropped out and they were a problem. Can't put too much out here because we need to make room for the torpedoes, but I think we'll be okay. Keep it pretty much at the same height. Oh, not actually close enough to the ship to actually attach. Go here. We go 3 and then... Actually, no, 1's fine. Yeah, we'll keep these quite close to the propellers, even though it's not ideal. For the sake of, yeah, not getting in the way of the torpedoes. It's also actually... Maybe even slope that to... No, that's fine. Okay. A little bit inconsistent, but that's fine. Good shape. Makes it a little bit more interesting. This sort of strap-on armor is not something I really see on other people's ships, so it makes ours a tiny bit more unique. But there we go. I assume that's not going to have a significant effect on the cost or handling, and it doesn't look like indeed either of those are the case. Oh, there we go. We have a little bit of blading. I don't know how much that's going to actually catch enemy ships, but if we have a direct bump, they're going to come off worse. I'll tell you what, we'll put it on the front of those as well. Why not? And on the back as well, why not? Actually, no, not the back. Again, that's getting less in the way of the torpedoes, the better. Right. Their vehicle. Let us go. Oh, no, hang on. There's one last thing we need to do. We need to give it a proper designation. Although it's a fairly simple one I have in mind for this ship. I-19 Flagship. This is our fleet leader. This will now be our biggest and bestest. Not that we won't be backing it up. We'll maybe back it up with the new Sky Wraiths. Might be a good idea. There's quite powerful laser weapons to back it up. We'll do a little bit of battling in the campaign. We don't have much time left for the episode, but we'll see if we can get into a fight at least before the episode ends. They're moving back. They're capturing. There are still Striders nearby. Tackle Squadron, Sifter that we've lost. The Shark Hunters. Ah, yes. We do have the Shark Hunters as well still. So even if the... How do we have commodities? Yeah, we've got enough money to build our big flagship. Yeah, we'll just give them a whole bunch. So even if the new battleship potentially can't do it, the Shark Hunters might be able to... Oh, I just realised they are capturing something there. Let's have them move in and see if they can attack it. We'll also... From this refinery here, because I said so, we have a new ship to begin construction of. And we're going to massively beef up the repair arms, even compared to what they are already. And we're going to try and do a real-time quick construction of it. I did say massively beef up. I think it'd be nice to see this thing come together. But that might be the end of the episode. But next time we'll definitely be getting into fighting with it. Right. It might have been best to hold it at more than 50 meters. But we'll see how it goes. If it's going to clip into it, I think we can press Q to release it and let it build it. Oh, it's been a little bit slow. I'm not too surprised on that one, I suppose. Indeed, we may well have to release it because I think it's going to have problems. Look at the size of it. You can see the preview. It's lagging the game. Oh.
Listening.
That is the armed one, but it does not want to be fighting this squad of aircraft. It's going to have to, isn't it? Look at it, look at that monster of a chassis coming together. Yeah, I reckon it does remember the order you built in roughly, because it's starting from the turbines. Or the central core where I started building from. Fine, you can release it. Pull all. I don't think this is going to be able to run, so...
Listening.
That's frustrating, but this is the one I believe we did arm with some guns at least. So it might be a stupid fight, but we'll do a little fight here. Yeah, it's the one we did actually arm a little bit. I seem to remember it could beat the enemy, but it just took forever before. So hopefully either they knock us out quickly or we knock them out quickly. Yeah, they are evading. Great. Yeah, they can't hit us because we're too high up, but all we can do is sit and burn resources until we get lucky and get a kill. Oh, speaking of, one's in the water already.
Engaging now.
Yeah, hit that one before it gets back up. Did it manage to get back up? No, it's trying to, though. No, not the one that's moving. So what was saying about this? Saying about, like, oh, I like, tell it to target one thing and it targets the wrong one. But it's just like... But I told it to target those. I don't know, is it just because it locks onto the first one it gets a lock on, or... Oh, maybe there are shots landing around this one. It is partly targeting it. Maybe it's just the missiles. Oh, you know what we could do? There's a downed fighter plane. We could pinch that. Are we falling? I think we're falling. Just very slow. Yeah, we're falling. We might try and pirate that. If we don't destroy it first, which is also a possibility. Seen explosions. Oh, ejecting. Okay. It's died anyway. Oh, we got one. That was quick. Come on, get the other guy. I know you're not even built for warfare, but you are landing hits on this guy. Been shot down by the spy plane as a fighter. That must be a bit embarrassing. Oh no, we got a good hit. Just outright finished it off. Nice work, dude.
Moving out.
Yeah, finished capturing. Oh, we've lost the capture progress. Oh well, that's fine. We'll call the episode there. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. We're finally complete as far as the battleship is concerned for now. Like I say, we couldn't quite get it to the point where I think it could reliably beat a Megalodon in a one-on-one. But we've got it to the point where it maybe can. And I think for, again, the experience difference between me and whoever it was that built that thing, I'll consider that a good start. So I'll catch you guys all again next time. Goodbye.